Section 119, subsection 5 of the 1991 Constitution of Sierra Leone indicates that Parliament shall debate the report of the Auditor General and appoint, where necessary in the public interest, a committee to deal with any matters arising therefrom. However, this has not been the practice over the years, and these MPs believe Parliament has failed in this area.
Parliament has reneged on its responsibility to debate the Auditor General's report. It is a constitutional requirement. It is not optional. We have to do it. So yes, Parliament is violating the Constitution. Parliament has no appetite to debate these audit reports, which means we're really failing.
We have stood out that this thing must be debated, but we have not done enough. So if Parliament has failed, it will not be the administration this time. It will be those of us in the chamber that has failed the people of this country. I think I want to agree with him. There is more we could do, and the Speaker, who is in charge of approving other papers, must be supporting us as well. This last session should be different. As the Speaker himself has promised, this is going to be a new Parliament, not business as usual.
But the leader of government business, Honorable Martin Yuma, thinks differently.
That statement seems to be very weak for me, because I remember the Honorable Singapore Thomas, the Deputy Speaker, made some recommendations to the ACC. They are taking some actions. And we are not above scrutiny. They outside Parliament, the vote controller, there was problems. We brought them to book, and we investigated. We set up a committee, and we came out to a report. And we have exposed people that are involved in malpractices. What we have done in some MDAs, even in the recent report, Committee of Supply, follow our report. We have exposed what people are doing. So, but you don't have the power to prosecute. We don't have prosecutorial powers. So I don't know what Yunkela is talking about.
Parliament in and out have not debated audit reports since 1996. Instead, the committee report by the Public Accounts Committee has been debated over the years. The chairman of the Public Accounts Committee, Honorable Singapore Solomon Thomas, who also doubles as the Deputy Speaker of Parliament in one of the proceedings of Parliament, indicated that
it is the duty of this committee to look at the reports of the Auditor General. Even though the Constitution says that we should debate the Auditor General's report, we have created our own rules in this house, and we have placed a particular committee in charge of that report. We can't debate, of course, we can't come to Parliament and debate the Auditor General's report in its raw form.
the practice, according to him, is directed by the rules of the House, which is the standing order. But Paramount Chief Member of Parliament, Baiku Kanagbaru Sankar III, who is the oldest representative in the current Parliament, says,
the Constitution prevails.
Oh, as a new direction.
Yes. Under law, because the Constitution is supreme to the standing orders of this Parliament.
Honorable Chen Ba and other MPs placed emphasis on one thing: respect for the Constitution.
I am putting confidence in the Speaker and the leadership of this House, of which I am part of, and I believe that we must respect the Constitution and comply with it. Being that audit reports were not debated before, it's not a justification for it not to be debated now. Laws are only relevant when they are triggered. When people call for a law to be triggered, then it is triggered. They are always lying down in the books. Now people have called for 1195 to be triggered. Look at the Auditor General. She was suspended with her deputy at the eve of producing and laying the audit report in Parliament. People are still asking questions. We are the body that is mandated under Section 105 to make law, and the Constitution is the foremost supreme law that has been passed by this Parliament, whether it is this 5th Parliament or it was a Parliament in 1985 or a Parliament in 1990 or 1991. This Constitution is the foremost law that has been passed by this Parliament. And if there is anybody that should adhere to the dictates of this Constitution, Parliament should be the number one person. So for me, it's a matter of compliance. Let us just comply with subsection 5 of section 119 and allow the debate of the Auditor General's report.
The framers of the Constitution did not leave it just to our whims and caprices. They made sure it's a constitutional requirement, section 119, subsection 5. So we're reneging, and of course, I am told when we raise it with the new guys, it's not only me, Honorable Tawa, Honorable Chief Baikur, myself, and also Honorable Hassan.
Leader of Government Business, Honorable Martin Yuma, insists that there is already a precedent on the issue of debates on the audit report.
From what I know, the precedent that has been in Parliament that when reports are laid that has to do with the audit report, first goes to the Public Account Committee, because the notion that the Auditor General's report is an opinion. So they are giving people time because they are surrounding them. These are decent people. You are only found guilty if the court says so. For me, I don't want to go into when to debate the report. What I know that have been taking place for years, since 1996 in Parliament, that when audit reports are laid in Parliament, the public account take ownership of it. That is the reason you don't go to public with the Auditor General's report, except you get instruction that is laid in Parliament, and you have the original to publish. You know about that. So that has been followed, and what we can do, as I said, I don't go into what you are putting to me to interpret a provision, but what I know after the report from the PAC is we parliamentarians now to debate the report, and that's what exactly now we are set to do.
Honorable Chanoba, on the other hand, says this has to change.
But be that as it may, the Constitution is very, very clear that when the reports are laid, they must be debated. And it is Parliament that will send it to the committee. It was not happening in the past, granted, but are we going to say that because it was happening in the past, so we're going to allow it to continue to rule? No. We have to respect the Constitution. Like I said, before we came into governance in 2007, there were backlogs. So are we going to say that because there were backlogs, we should have also practiced that culture of having backlogs? No.
Even Government Bench MP Honorable Ibrahim Conte points out the grey areas in the Constitution.
Yes, I understand. I understand the fact that over the years it has been the Auditor General's report, because the Auditor General's report to Parliament brings the reports to Parliament, and that report is given to the PAC. The PAC will look at the report and bring out their own reports. And for the PAC is saying it should be their reports that Parliament should debate. But the Constitution did not countenance the report of the PAC. Neither did the Constitution specifically stated the PAC as the committee responsible for the management or for the investigation of the Auditor General's report. The Constitution says Parliament should debate it and should make recommendation to a committee therein. It has been construed because subsequent section 93 of the Constitution makes reference to the Parliamentary Account Committee, and that committee has been construed to be the committee mentioned in subsection 5 of 119, and the standing orders has given the PAC mandate to look at the Auditor General's report, but the standing orders does not take precedence over the Constitution. So it's a matter of let us try and obey the dictates of the laws that we pass.
For Honorable Martin Yuma, debating the audit report is not enough, but rather proactive steps should be adopted to ensure recommendations are followed through.
It's our responsibility as people's representatives to debate the report. But the question I ask, what is going to be the follow-up actions? It's only to debate. We can do our recommendations, what they have done, was for us to see proactive steps taken.
He reiterated commitment by the government bench to debate all the 3 audit reports, but
I'm always willing to debate. I've never blocked any audit report not to be debated. I'm always challenging that one. That doesn't mean we don't have to debate it, but we challenge for proper procedure. For me, I don't even need a motion for us to debate that report. I only wait for the PAC report. I don't need a motion. Why do I need a motion to fight transparency? Why do you need a motion to expose the ill of our society?
The 5th Parliament is now expected to right the wrongs, as it has 3 audit reports, that is the 2018, 2019 and the recently published 2020 audit reports tabled before them to be debated. It begs the question, when will this happen? Joseph Johnson, AYV News, Freetown.